Yes guys, it's your boy Cam, CTB, Cam Talks Boxing, back with another video. You can see it in the thumbnail. Edgar Berlanga. What's next for him? Who's next for him? Let's talk about it. Yes guys, quick one. If you're new, please like, share and subscribe. Join the road to 1K. I'll really appreciate that. But let's go straight into it. Edgar Berlanga fought and had his Matchroom debut in Madison Square Garden, the theatre. And guys, what did you make of the performance? For me, it was a little flat. It wasn't terrible. He started fairly strong. Yes, Quigley was looking to survive, you could argue. Don't get me wrong, Quigley at times, he bit down on his gum shield and he fought. He landed some good punches on Berlanga. But for me, even though I feel like he slightly has improved cutting off the ring, and he was cutting off the ring, I feel like he can improve further. I put a tweet out, he can improve on cutting the ring off. And for those of you who don't know, Edgar Berlanga won a unanimous decision against Quigley from Ireland in the 168-pound division, and he's now 21-0 with 16 knockouts. His last 5 opponents have gone the distance with him, and he's obviously claimed to be the monster at 168, but he's struggling to get the knockouts that he was getting, beforehand, up until his 16th fight. So in his first 16 fights. So how did I judge the fight? Look, it was a decent fight. It was quite a good fight, to be fair. I don't think it was bad at all. He started off quite strong, but Quigley just started moving around the ring. He started popping a jab out. He started throwing a sharp jab, and he was just kind of following Quigley. I think he needs to improve on cutting off the ring, like I said. And it wasn't so much. I think Sergio Mora said it when he was commentating. He was cutting off the ring at times, but then when he was in front of Quigley, he wasn't letting his hands go. And that happened even more in the latter stages of the fight, when he actually got caught a few times, when he was hesitant to throw his combinations. But he needs to throw more combinations. He wasn't using his jab at all. You hear his trainers were going absolutely ballistic in the corner. They weren't very happy, and they were just saying, you need to calm down, you need to box, don't just go for the knockout. He was focusing on just landing that right hand. At times it kind of reminded me of Tio against Cambosos, but Edgar, we're being harsh because there's a lot of hype behind him, but at the moment we just see so many flaws, and if he just shouldn't even, it's a mismatch against the top dogs, against Canelo, etc. Well, against Canelo certainly, because he is the top dog, so that's a mismatch. But don't get me wrong, he can improve. Maybe in 2 years he might be ready for Canelo, 2 to 3 years. But at the moment he needs to step up. He obviously in the 12th round he finished strong. He knocked down Quigley twice with the first one was a nice, it was like it was a right hand, and he threw it downwards, and he skimmed Quigley, and he dropped him. The second one, you could argue, was it a bit of a trip, but obviously Berlanga did land on Quigley. And then the 12th round was exciting. Look, he obviously really wanted to knock out. You can see at the final bell, he wasn't happy with his performance. He didn't want to go to he didn't want to points win. But in that last round, he really should have. I think he should have got the knockout. I don't know. You don't want to give Quigley. You want to give Quigley credit, but Boo Boo's not a huge puncher, and he got him out there in 2 rounds, so I don't know. Look, the positive is, look, Berlanga, he's still young. I think is he 27? I think he's 27 or 28. He's entering his prime, but he's got a lot of improving to do. He needs to start throwing more combination. He needs to improve his ring IQ. He needs to improve on his jab, and his defense wasn't too bad, but then he was getting hit. He got hit with I think it was in the last couple of rounds. I think it was maybe round 10. He got hit with they traded left hooks, and he buckled a little bit. Berlanga, we've seen him, we've seen him dropped previously in his last fight. We've seen him struggle. We've seen him with a bit of a disappointing performance against Steve Rolls, who Triple G not so long before that, just absolutely destroyed in well, it was a quite easy win for Triple G in a warm-up fight. So look, Berlanga, he needs to win us fans over. He needs to improve. And look, that 12th round, he went for the knockout, but he just couldn't. He couldn't just get him out. He couldn't get him out of there. He needed to throw more punches. You know, he needed to cut off the ring even better than he was doing. But guys, look, what do you think's next for Edgar Berlanga? Look, obviously Canelo's moved to the PBC, so that's out of the equation. Oscar, despite Oscar and Eddie, you know, having a bit of a back and forth as they've been doing, mainly because of Oscar just being childish. But Haymon Munguia, that would be a great fight. In my head, I'm thinking, blimey, is that a bit of a step up? But then we saw Munguia struggle against a little bit over the hill Derevyanchenko. So I think that would be a great fight, both with DAZN, Mexico v Puerto Rico. But I think I'm not saying Munguia's better than Billy Joe Saunders, but I think a Billy Joe Saunders fight would be better for Berlanga, because Billy Joe Saunders is coming off a over 2 year layoff. He hasn't fought since May 2020, and there's been a bit of trading blows there, you know, on Twitter and stuff, on Instagram DM. So that would be a decent fight. Billy Joe Saunders, former 2-weight world champion, he's a 2-weight world champion. Let's see how ring rust. It depends how rusty Billy Joe Saunders is, but I think that would be a great fight. Obviously, the Munguia fight, if Edgar can step up, and well, that's the thing. Let's make the Munguia fight there, because Edgar Berlanga saying himself that Munguia would come to fight and come to knock him out, and that's when we'll see the best of Berlanga. So, you know, is Haymon Munguia on Canelo's level? Probably not. Is he on a Benavidez level, Munguia? We're not sure yet. But look, Munguia has had. He's got a bit of a padded record. He's got some decent wins. Obviously, Derevyanchenko, Liam Smith, that was a really good win at 154 pounds. But look, that might be the fight to make. But if it's not, I personally think Munguia should have probably one more fight, and then Berlanga can have one more fight, and then they fight. But I'm not gonna complain if it's next. But I think, who else could Berlanga fight? He could fight John Ryder. That would be no easy fight, both with the DAZN. He could fight. Who else could he fight? That's the thing, at 168. Who else do they have? Edgar Berlanga. You got Billy Joe Saunders, you got Munguia, you got John Ryder. I mean, that's about it, isn't it? And the rest are with PBC. 168, super middleweight. That's about it, really, isn't it? No one. If anyone else comes to mind, guys, put it in the comments. But guys, the fight I'd like to see is probably Billy Joe Saunders v Edgar Berlanga. I think Berlanga is a bit less experienced than Billy Joe, but then it's about probably a 50-50 fight, because Billy Joe, he's more experienced, he's fought at a higher level, but he's coming off a 2-year layoff. But Billy Joe Saunders thinks Berlanga will be his warm-up, and he's calling him a bum, so it'll be a really good fight, that. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think of Edgar Berlanga as a fighter? What do you think his ceiling is? Do you think he can become a world champion? Do you think we'll see him in the ring when Canelo potentially returns to DAZN, which we can't rule out, he probably will, in about 18 months to 24 months? And who do you want to see Edgar Berlanga face next? Let me know, guys. If you could please, like I said, please subscribe, join the journey to 1k. Almost at 1k. We need to get to 1k before the end of the year. And guys, I really appreciate your support. As always, I'll be back with another video. Talking numbers on